Welcome back to Good Day Utah at 9:38. We are following breaking news coming out of Wayne County this morning.
We want to send you out there right now. Officials have caught the suspect for 3 deaths in Wayne County. All the way in Colorado, our Julia Sandor live at the scene. So, Julia, we just heard that press conference wrapping up about 15 minutes ago. We learned a lot of information there. What were your big takeaways?
Yeah, that's right, John. Thank you, guys. We got down here about an hour ago. We've just learned some more information. I think the biggest piece of information was that they identified who the suspect was, and that's 22-year-old Ivan Miller. He's from Iowa. They don't have details about how he got here, but they do say right now we're kind of standing in front of one of the crime scenes. I'm going to step out of the way so that you can take a look at it. This is the residence of someone from Lyman. That was one of the victims in this incident. And they say that there's no connections as far as family relations or anything like that for this victim or any of the other victims or any of the victims with the suspect, Ivan Miller. And again, he was taken into custody without further incident in Pagosa Springs. They say that just kind of some of the details, kind of going back to the incident yesterday, they had received a call around 4:30 afternoon from husbands of 2 of the victims that were on the trail because they hadn't gotten any information from them. They hadn't heard from them for a while. And when they got to the trail, that was when they had found them deceased and had made that call in Wayne County. And again, we're still trying to find out some more information. But when we spoke to Roden and DPS, they talked about how, this is a tragedy for any community, but 3 homicides within the past 24 hours is really scary, especially for a community of this size. And they want to make sure that if people still do see anything suspicious, whether it be a car, they're still investigating. So make sure you reach out to the police and the sheriff's office here with any other information. And we'll continue to bring you more updates as we learn more. But for now, live in Wayne County.
Tragic situation. Let's go over to the next video.
This community is still in shock after a triple homicide. All 3 of the victims lived in Wayne County and we're told had no connection to the suspect. The suspect is 22-year-old Ivan Miller. He's from Iowa. The Department of Public Safety says they don't believe he had any specific ties to Utah. DPS said Wayne County Dispatch first received a call around 4:30 on Wednesday from husbands of 2 victims who had found the 2 women dead on a trailhead just outside of Capitol Reef National Park. One woman was in her 30s and another was in her 60s. Through their investigation, DPS said they were led to a home in Lyman, where they then found another woman in her 80s dead inside her home. They believe the suspect stole the woman's vehicle in Lyman, then stole another victim's vehicle at the trailhead.
Investigators utilized automated license plate readers and integrated vehicle tracking services to monitor the stolen vehicles' movements through southern Utah into northern Arizona and eventually into Colorado.
Miller was arrested in Pagosa Springs, Colorado, late Wednesday night. According to a charging document from the Wayne County Attorney's Office, Miller stayed in the Lyman home shed and watched the older victim drive away before entering her home. He then waited for her to return and shot her. After taking her car, he decided he wanted a different car, so he traveled to the trailhead, where he saw 2 other women get out of a white Subaru. The charging document goes on to say that Miller told officers he went up to both women, shot them multiple times, dragged them to a ditch, and took their cards to buy gas, saying it had to be done and that he did not like to do it. After hearing from people in the community, we reached out to Bryan Auto Shop to see if the suspect was in the area prior to Wednesday. We were told a car belonging to Ivan Miller was towed to their shop after it hit an elk off of Highway 24 on Saturday, February 28th.
It's going to be something that definitely shakes the community for a little while, and we want, as law enforcement, want to help them get back to normal as much as we possibly can, but it's something that will definitely take them a little bit to recover from.
There is no longer a threat to the public, and we'll continue to bring you more details on the investigation when we learn more.
He has to be one sick man. This man, all because he wanted a car, killed 3 people. He needed a ride, and he said he's so nonchalant about it. You see, it goes back up a tad bit where they pulled up his picture. Right there. You see how he's slightly smiling? This is the sign of someone who has a lot of problems and needs to be in jail. But let's go over to the next video where we talk about the tow truck driver who towed his vehicle.
24 hours ago, people around here were scared. They'd gotten that emergency message. Facebook lit up and became the place where they shared their worries and whatever tidbits of information they had. Gary Bryan was a part of all of that, but he had no idea that he had spent a lot of time alone with the suspect because he had towed the suspect's car.
It was Saturday night at about 10:30 when dispatch called. They just told me it was the vehicle versus elk at mile marker 40 on SR 24. When I got there, the highway patrol was there. The vehicle was smashed up, and we just loaded it up, and the customer got in with me and rode back to town here, and we unloaded his vehicle and come in the shop and did the paperwork.
Looking back, Gary is most disturbed that Miller didn't give him a bad gut feeling. It all felt normal.
I had no idea to think that it was him. I mean, he'd called me, he called here to the shop and talked to us on Monday morning and said that he'd caught a ride out of here and that he wanted to come back this coming Saturday and pick up his stuff. He talked to me just normal. We just talked about if he had insurance on the vehicle, and he said no, and we talked about what that looked like and wanted to know if I'd buy it, and I said that, you know, we could make arrangements to have a salvage buy it. Yeah, all of the people I know, so it's not a good situation. I feel terrible for their families, and yeah, I thought to myself, wow, that could have been me, should have been me instead of all of these other people. I spent an hour with him, and it was in the middle of the night.
Those thoughts.
He spent an hour with the killer, and he didn't get no gut feeling. That just goes to show you that people can hide everything from you. There can be a deranged killer right beside you. You never know if he's smart enough to hide it. But let's keep going.
Especially strong because the victim in Lyman was a neighbor, someone Gary knew from childhood until this week.
I grew up, one of her boys is my same age and was one of my best friends all through high school, so I know the family very well.
And now, what does this county need?
Just put their arm around and give them some love and support. You can't fix what's happened, you gotta support from here on out, I would say. She was a fantastic lady. She'd do anything for anybody. We loved her, so.
While this is a close-knit community, we're waiting to learn more about the two women who were killed at that popular hiking trail. Though Gary and his employees tell us that they knew one of those women as well because she and her husband were customers at their store.
Small town. That's a small town. You know everyone. Let's go over into the AI breakdown just to see if we can get a little bit more information about this whole thing. So as we know, in a series of events on Wednesday, March 4th, 3 women were killed in Wayne County, Utah, in what authorities describe as a random spree motivated by the need for money and transportation. So here are the names of the victims. We got an 86-year-old, a 65-year-old, and a 34-year-old killed in her home. So one was killed in her home, one was killed while hiking at the trailhead. Another was killed alongside her aunt, Linda, at the trailhead. So the suspect, Ivan, 22-year-old, reportedly became stranded in Wayne County after his personal vehicle was disabled in a collision with an elk on February 28th. It's crazy to think that there's no way that he did all this just because he wanted to get up out of town. But let's keep going. So, reportedly became stranded in Wayne County after his vehicle was hit by an elk. First murder, so on March 4th, Miller allegedly snuck into the first victim's home, waited for her to return, and shot her while she was watching television. He then stole her Buick. Later that day, Miller decided that he wanted a different vehicle and targeted the two on the trailhead. Their husbands discovered their body in a dry creek bed at approximately 4:30 p.m. Authorities used license plate readers and victim key fobs to track the stolen Subaru out back through Arizona and New Mexico. Miller was arrested early Thursday, March 5th, in Colorado. He's making his way. But it's crazy because he said he called him saying he'll be back on Saturday to pick up his some of his stuff that was in the car. No fear. So Ivan has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree aggravated murder. According to court documents, he admitted to killing and stating that he didn't like to do it, but felt it had to be done to secure money and a vehicle. No prior connection was found between him and the victims. This man is a psychopath. Unless if there was truly no motive and all he was doing this for is because he saw them, it was like, you know what? I need to get up out of town. Immediately killed a woman, snuck into her house, killed her, took her Buick, didn't like the Buick, stopped at a trailhead and was like, you know what? I'll take that car, and then killed 2 more women just to get their car. This man is a psychopath and needs to be put in jail for the rest of his life. But my question is, will he try to? Because he's most likely going to plead not guilty. And his lawyer's probably going to say insanity defense. Because no one in their right mind would do this. This just goes to show you don't know what anyone is capable of. The tow truck driver drove with him for an hour. He could have easily been like, you know what? I kind of want the tow truck. Crazy situation, y'all. Let me know your thoughts. And let me know if you disagree with anything I said. It is a crazy world that we live in, but this is why we have to review the world together, y'all.